Hello, I'm Christopher Springman, and you're listening to Neph Talk, a podcast series created with nephrologists in mind from Satellite Healthcare, a not-for-profit dialysis provider that leads the industry in home therapies while supporting clinical research. The right inspirational management book really works, especially when its message matches your organization's culture of celebrating employee contributions. Rick Barnett, President and CEO of Satellite Healthcare, fortuitously found just such a book, then distributed hundreds of copies to employees. The book is called Oh Great One, the fictional story of a CEO who resuscitates a company in distress with a secret weapon, recognition, and lots of it. It is great to have you on Neph Talk, oh great one. Or may I call you Rick? Rick?
I would prefer Rick, thank you.
I am so glad I attended the yearly kickoff event, especially with regard to Neph Talk, as I believe that the more nephrologists know about Satellite's values around patient safety and quality service, hiring, training, and retention, along with the company's recognition of employees whose followership makes it all possible, the more likely that these physicians will choose Satellite Healthcare for their patients. Am I on the right track there?
There's so much evidence that exists in the industry in general that employee recognition in any industry is one of the top factors of satisfaction, and one of the reasons many times they will leave an organization or come to an organization. If you look at all the statistical studies that have been done within healthcare, the number one correlation factor that correlates with high patient satisfaction is employee satisfaction.
It's funny you should mention that. I've done a great deal of work with Quint Studer when he was running the Studer Group, and I
know Quint very well.
Oh, I bet you do. I found a quote from my files. The leader's duty is building culture. Work gets done through people, and people are profoundly affected by culture. A lousy place to work can drive away high performers. After all, they have their pick of places to work, and a great place to work can attract and retain the very best. What are your thoughts about that?
I agree, really 150%. And particularly in healthcare, ultimately we're a business of people caring for people, and a substantial percentage of employees that go into healthcare do so because they do something that they want to make more of a difference. And in Quint's research and studies, connection to purpose and meaning of work and making a difference is a huge factor of employee satisfaction as well.
Yes.
Our philosophy of leadership at Satellite Healthcare is a servant leadership model. And that is really a bottom-up approach versus a top-down, where we view the role of leadership is to best support our employees so they can bring the best of themselves in the care they provide to patients. There's a lot of studies out there that show that employees who have a connection with their supervisor, their bosses that feel they care about them, they feel understood, and then the other secret weapon is recognition, that they're recognized for what they do. That's really the holy grail.
Every year, Rick makes a point of getting out and visiting every center or clinic that Satellite Healthcare has across the country. An experience, he says, that has blown him away, much like this conversation he relates from a center in California.
And I'll talk to an employee, oh, where do you live? I live in Livermore or somewhere 2 hours away.
Oh, my goodness.
Where we have a center even in that area. And I say, why do you drive 2 hours each way and you've been doing it for 10 years? I love my boss. I love our team and our teamwork, and we all feel appreciated and recognized for what we do.
At the kickoff event, I coincidentally sat next to Sherry Rodriguez, who's the clinical manager at Central Modesto.
Right.
She's had that job for 3 years. She's worked for the company, for Satellite Healthcare, for 26 years.
Yes.
And she was thrilled when she went up on stage and received her award from you. We're featuring her on another program the basis of which is the book OGO, Oh Great One.
Mm-hmm.
She said to me in the interview, so when we heard Rick was coming to our center, of course we were a little nervous. We didn't know what to expect, but it was really a pleasant surprise. He was open to hear exactly what we thought, our ideas, our criticisms, and I felt that he really took it to heart. And it was so nice to feel that he really cared about what was going on at our level, and he was really interested in making change. And I feel it makes people value their job more when you're working for someone you know cares about you and that your voice is going to be heard. I think it definitely creates a much happier work environment. I was very touched by that.
Well, that's nice to hear. Thank you.
Did you find the book, OGO, or did it find you?
Good question. Probably the truth is somewhere in the middle. I was reading actually a magazine called CEO Magazine, which has real life studies, case studies of leading executives that have been most successful in their field. And as I was perusing that, I saw the article on employee engagement and appreciation. And it had a number of key excerpts from the book, which is so powerful that 85% of employees in this country in general, as in all industries, don't feel appreciated.
Oh, it's just appalling. It really is.
It's appalling. And 70% of employees view appreciation as important as pay.
And in some cases, more so.
And in some cases more so. Almost always they will give more effort, discretionary effort to their job. I mentioned one of the top correlations of patient satisfaction is employee satisfaction. If employees are pissed off or they feel unappreciated, one of the unfortunate beneficiaries of that might be patients.
Oh, absolutely.
And to the contrary, if they feel appreciated, valued, they feel a connection to the organization, to the mission, they're going to give more discretionary effort and conscientiousness to the care of patients. And that's why we exist as a company.
How would you measure the impact of OGO, Oh Great One, the book, a little story about the awesome power of recognition on staff, physicians, nephrologists?
So we're a little over a year into this from the Oh Great One book. I've heard many, many anecdotes as I'm out in the field often that many employees have shared. I came to Satellite because I heard from other employees that they feel appreciated, that they feel that there's a commitment to quality of care, or different anecdotal things from physicians or employees as well. I think we're gaining greater physician engagement than we had in prior years because we're reaching out to them a lot more. But again, this is still a journey. We're still in a cultural transformation, and one quantifiable way to measure that is on our employee surveys. We are seeing employees feeling appreciated and recognized. We're seeing that moving up.
We've been speaking with Rick Barnett, the president and CEO of Satellite Healthcare. Rick, thank you so much for joining us today on Neph Talk.
You are very welcome. I enjoyed participating.